We tend to dwell on our shortcomings instead of embracing our genuine desires. Through the practice of visualization, we can train and broaden our mental abilities, making room for the realization of our deepest dreams. According to Joseph Murphy, author of the best-selling The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, our perceptions, ideas, and beliefs are what actually manifest in our lives. In order to overcome negative thoughts, how can we successfully access our subconscious mind, and what role does visualization play? A quote from the renowned artist Michelangelo states, "I saw the angel in the marble and carved until I set him free." He saw David inside the marble block, conjuring up an extraordinary work of art from his subconscious mind with his creative faculties. In a similar vein, when we imagine ourselves to have our dreams come true, we lose ourselves in the experience. In turn, this triggers our brains to start working for us. This highlights the value of envisioning one's aspirations. To better understand how visualization helps us to assume ownership of our goals, let's look at an example. Let your mind wander to a city dweller who dreams of leaving the hustle and bustle behind and setting out for a small village. She imagines herself sitting at a wooden desk, sipping a hot cup of coffee as she writes the last pages of her novel. As she listens to the morning dove's soft song, she can almost feel the warm rays of sunshine pouring in through a large window. From her home, she can almost feel the tranquility of the lake as she imagines its refreshing waters. As she thinks about going kayaking on the peaceful lake later in the day, she experiences an intense feeling of satisfaction, calm, and fulfillment, not just in her mind, but in her body as well. Her subconscious starts to absorb the experience's realism as she mentally reenacts it again and again. The mental and emotional reactions are realistic representations of what one would experience in the real world. The more you think about this scenario in your head, the more it will imprint on your subconscious, attracting opportunities and resources that will help you bring your dreams to life. The stars will naturally align to make the desired outcome a reality. By chance, the woman's imagined story might come to fruition if, for example, an old friend of hers unexpectedly calls from the village where she recently moved. Actually, our subconscious does not have the capacity to distinguish between reality and imagination. When you imagine something, you feel the same kinds of things that would happen in real life. The conscious mind and the subconscious mind are two separate parts of the brain, according to Joseph Murphy. Emotions and sentiments are created by the conscious mind and have a profound impact on our behavior, choices, and everyday activities. But the subconscious mind, which lies below the conscious mind, has no idea where reality ends and imagination begins. The subconscious mind diligently takes in mental instructions from the conscious mind and produces relevant emotions that are inherently associated with the conscious mind. Whatever the conscious mind feeds it, the subconscious mind takes at face value. So when we imagine something in our heads, our subconscious takes it as real and reacts as effectively and emotionally as if we were really there. One interesting thing is that our minds tend to strengthen our beliefs by focusing on what we already know to be true. As a natural tendency, we tend to gravitate toward environments and circumstances that support our beliefs. Our focus tends to gravitate toward things that are meaningful to us or that we think about often. This happens as a natural progression. For example, if you are fluent in English but move to a nation like China where the language is not widely spoken. Our natural inclination is to seek out circumstances that are consistent with our pre-existing worldview. What we think about a lot and let our emotions guide our emotions determines how our reality turns out. Whatever the case may be, our circumstances always seem to line up in a way that makes our fantasies a reality. As we watch it, this becomes a reality that cannot be denied. It's human nature to seek out companions who mirror our own characteristics. We tend to gravitate toward people who share our worldview, taste in clothing, and preferred method of expression. This tendency is inherent in the human condition. People whose traits are similar to our own tend to attract us more. In a similar vein, our reality is progressively shaped by our dominant thoughts and beliefs. Similarly, the mental images we create have the capacity to become real-life events. A faith-holding pharmaceutical scientist and author, Dr. David Hamilton, has extensively studied the complex relationship between the brain and the rest of the body. Throughout his book, It's the Thought That Counts: Why Mind Over Matter Really Works, he stresses the incredible power of our mental processes to actually affect our DNA. Each person, in his view, has the capacity to harness the power of their own ideas and emotions to bring about beneficial changes in their health. Many people all over the world have found success with the visualization techniques that Dr. Hamilton has been teaching them. The brain's incapacity to differentiate between real experiences and the imaginary is an intriguing idea that he emphasizes in an article. According to him, your brain cannot distinguish between something that holds actuality and that which you are merely envisioning. He mentions a study done by scientists at Harvard University in his book. The participants learned a simple 5-finger piano note combination. Over the course of 5 days, one group worked tirelessly to perfect this sequence, while the other group did nothing but visualize themselves playing the notes. Brain scans of people engaged in physical practice and those engaged in mental imagery showed surprising similarities, as Dr. Hamilton points out. Further, he explains the mind cannot tell the difference between actuality and mental fabrications. By practicing positive mental images in our minds through visualization, we can set ourselves on a path to attract the good things we desire into our lives. What follows is an exploration of the many visualization tools at your disposal for the purpose of channeling your desires. When it comes to this, which approaches work best? Here I am about to share some of the best methods that great minds in the field of personal growth, like Joseph Murphy, have endorsed. A meditation practice focused on the exact conditions you wish to come to fruition is the first method. An esteemed individual known for his works in self-help books, Dr. Wayne Dyer, stresses this method. According to him, what we think determines what happens to us, so if we want to change our lives, we need to stretch our minds. Immerse yourself in the contemplation of the environment you want to create. He says it's essential. He uses the example of the Wright brothers and Thomas Edison to show how these trailblazers didn't wallow in self-pity over the difficulties they faced. Rather, what held their attention was an enthralling vision, which served as a driving force behind their pursuit of their dreams. In the second method, one meditates on a single word or affirmation throughout the day. At its core, this method is all about simplicity. The process is as follows. Craft a statement of faith. The essence of your desire captured in a single word, a concise phrase, or both. Imagine, for example, that you want to one day have a literary legacy. Writing something along the lines of, "I am an internationally recognized author," would do the trick here. Take a few minutes out of your morning to jot this down on a note card and give it your full attention. This one word or phrase that captures your ideal self or goal will gradually become ingrained in your subconscious. Because your mind is at its most alert and productive first thing in the morning, this technique stands a good chance of being effective. As a result, you'll have an easier time visualizing the specific outcomes you want to achieve. Joseph Murphy brings complexity to the table, even though some experts recommend following this method for 21 days. The nature of your ambitions, your deeply held beliefs about them, and the emotional and sentimental components all play a role in how long it will take. If your desire is fueled by strong and positive emotions, your visualization process will be naturally enhanced, helping it to become a tangible reality. The third way to picture things happening is by using the mental movie technique. Joseph Murphy's teachings prominently feature this well-known approach, which is extensively covered in his book. According to a famous Chinese saying, a picture is worth 1,000 words, and according to William James, an influential American psychologist, the subconscious mind can materialize ideas as long as it is supported by unshakable faith. Act as though I am, and I will be is a wise saying that captures this principle precisely. Building a mental movie of your dreams is your job in this method. Basically, you picture a scenario that captures how your dreams will unfold or how they will be realized. You find yourself immersed in intense emotions, as if it were happening in real life, as you replay this imagined scenario over and over again in your mind. A fascinating result can be achieved by skillfully creating and repeatedly engrossing oneself in this mental scene filled with passionate emotions. When you let life lead the way, it will bring you opportunities that match the reality you've imagined. According to Joseph Murphy, you should do this technique first thing in the morning, when you wake up, and last thing at night before you sleep. The scene gets more real with each iteration, making it feel more and more real. As this feeling intensifies, it triggers a life-altering transition in which you seamlessly enter a state where your dreams come true, connecting your imagination with reality. Creating a vision board is the fourth effective method of visualizing your goals. This approach can help one see things more clearly and permanently imprint their goals and aspirations on their mind. Stick magazine clippings, symbols, and phrases onto a poster board of your desired dimensions. Use your creativity and focus to consider all of your desires, from a trip to Italy to the completion of a long-ago goal. Put this board in a spot where you'll see it every day, and if you want to make it even more personal, add some affirmations or statements that will remind you of your goals every so often. Your desires will begin to materialize as a result of this constant exposure. We have now covered 4 methods that can help you visualize your goals more clearly. Many people, though, are skeptical about the effectiveness of visualization. In order to help you avoid these problems in the future, let's investigate the possible causes of this dissatisfaction. When people try too hard or have doubts in their abilities, it usually ends in failure. The old saying, "easy does it," appears repeatedly throughout Joseph Murphy's detailed manual. Asking questions, building trust, and letting go of control are the pillars upon which the process is built. The process is still simple. When strongly and emotionally reinforced pessimistic ideas and fears like "things are getting worse," "there's no way I'll be able to find a solution," or "it's all over," can undermine efforts to achieve success. Dismissing these negative thoughts about your self-worth or goals and not giving them any power or attention is a powerful response. As soon as you notice any negativity creeping into your mind, immediately dispel it. For example, break the cycle of thinking, "I'm unintelligent," and replace it with, "I possess remarkable brilliance." The key to making your self-talk a reality is to believe in it with all your heart. Get the guts to claim your right to wealth. Your subconscious will respect you for it. Anytime you have problems in any area of your life, it's a sign that your unconscious mind isn't sure you'll always have what you want. Establishing a firm conviction in your entitlement to limitless abundance is a prerequisite to taking action toward your goals. Allured by your unshakable belief in your entitlement, your ambitions draw you in. The effectiveness of these methodologies has been proven, helping many people. When one masters the art of visualization, they unlock the door to a world where fantasy and reality blend like a dream, allowing their wildest dreams to come true.